Mic checker, chicka. It's not some, baby. Yeah, a one time, baby. What for your mind, baby? Yeah, we gon' shine, baby. And what we do, we gon' grind, baby. Yeah, what? And this is another episode, Swingers After Dark. And this is your host, not son, baby. Here we go. You know what has me perturbed? Has me a tad bit bothered, you feel me? What annoys me, what has me baffled, bewildered, befuddled, or any other dictionary word that I could pull out my anus. You know, what has me so appalled is when people in the lifestyle shame others for wanting to live a monogamous relationship. And when I say lifestyle, I mean everything under the umbrella of the lifestyle. Whether it's swinging, BDSM, polygamy, polyamory, or whatever the case may be, any poly relationship that goes along with BDSM, swinging, you know, anything that's under the umbrella of the lifestyle. And it's real hypocritical. It's real hypocritical when people in the lifestyle shame others for wanting to be monogamous. Because it's like, how are you going to look down on others and be condescending towards others when the society at large, the dominant society, meaning the vast majority who do not practice polygamy or polyamory rather, or anything that pertains to the lifestyle, how are you going to look down on others who choose to be monogamous when the dominant society look down on us for being in a lifestyle? You know, people, I don't listen to the critics because I live my own life. But you have people looking down on us in a lifestyle talking about, you know, we're uncouth, we're dirty, we're nasty, you know, we should go to hell and we're not going to heaven and it's a sin and this, that, and the third. I'm like, all right, whatever, you know, suck my dick, you know. But it's like, it bothers me when people in a lifestyle, they look down on others who choose to be monogamous rather, who choose to live a monogamous lifestyle. And it's like, you should know better. Because, you know, it doesn't make any sense. It's one thing to express your lifestyle to others. It's one thing to, you know, convey what it is to be in a lifestyle from A to Z. You know, you breaking down all the elements of the lifestyle, you know, and it's one thing to do that, but it's another to attack others who choose the alternative lifestyle, or not even the alternative route, the more traditional route rather, which is monogamy. You know, just like how, you know, being polyamorous is not for everybody, being monogamous is not for everybody. And it's all about your calling in life. What makes you feel comfortable? Because not for nothing, there are people in the swing lifestyle, BDSM, polyamory, they not doing the shit right. So how are you going to tell others to be polyamorous when you have people who don't even know how to be polyamorous themselves? It's like the bastardized version of the lifestyle because they were not vetted. And they on some monkey see, monkey do type shit because it's the in thing. It's in vogue to be polyamorous or to be in a lifestyle in general. You understand me? And I'm like this. If you like it, I love it. Whatever makes you happy. You know, I would never shame people for wanting to be monogamous. I would never do that because it's your choice. It's your life. And not for nothing, you know, swinging, BDSM, and polyamory, it's not for everybody. Everything is not for everybody. Everything doesn't, you know, everybody doesn't belong in the same sandbox. Everybody's not meant to play in the same sandbox. You feel me? And it's like, you know, people, they want to impose themselves on others. It's like they want to bully others with their philosophies by getting into this neo pseudo geopolitical rants, diatribe, discourse about how monogamy, you know, it's the oppression of the patriarchy, and you know, you oppress because you're monogamous and whoop-de-whoop, blase, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know, I'm in a swing lifestyle. You know, I'm not really polyamorous. And you may say, well, no, son, isn't swinging and polyamory the same thing? No, man, no. Like an orange is not the same as a tangerine, even though they may be similar. A bunny, a rabbit, and a hare, they're not the same things, but they're similar. You know, swinging and polyamory, they're similar, but they're not quite the same thing. Like swinging is when you engage in a couple swap. You know, it's like casual sex, really. It's casual sex. There's no feelings involved. I want to get my nut, and hopefully you get yours, and boom, bada bing. It's over. And if you're good enough, I may ask for seconds or thirds or fourths or fifths or sixths or whatever the case may be. But polyamory, you know, it's the opposite of monogamy. You know, polyamory means that, you know, you have a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a husband, a wife, and you have multiple partners, and everybody know of each other. Y'all may even live in the same house. You know, polyamory is more than sex. You feel me? It's about building a partnership. It's about having an end game of building amongst each other. You know, there are feelings involved, and you have to deal with each other on a superficial level and on an intellectual level, meaning that you have to be with each other through the good and the bad and the ugly. It's not all about sex. It's about building and having an end game. And like polyamory is pretty much the same as monogamy, just with different partners. Really, it's not all about sex. It's deeper than sex. It's more advanced than sex, than just getting your nut. And that's the difference between swinging and polyamory. You know, people who are polyamorous, they could be swingers. You know, they could do their couple swap. But swingers, you know, they're not polyamorous because their end game is sex. But people who are polyamorous, they could, you know, delve into the swing lifestyle because they could couple swap with other couples. You know, yeah, there's a blurred line, but you get my point. But back to the lecture at hand, you know, everything is not for everybody. And I'm not the type to bully people, you know, to, you know, polyamory or swinging, it's the way to go. Like, I'm not that dude. I'm not that guy. Everything is not for everybody, and everybody has their own path that they choose to live by. Everybody has their own code of conduct, their own rules, their own parameters. And I'm not that dude to, you know, get on my soapbox and say how people are oppressed because they decide to be monogamous. And it's like, nah, that's not my style. I could effectively tell you about the swing lifestyle without shitting on other people's lifestyles. You feel me? This is not a lifestyle Olympic. You know, this is not a lifestyle Olympics. You feel me? It's like, I'm not going to get on this podcast and demonize monogamy. I'm not going to shit on monogamous relationships just because it's not my thing. You know, everything is not for everybody. Just like how monogamy is not for me. But at the same time, I'm not going to look down on others because I know how it is to be looked down upon because of my lifestyle. You get what I'm saying? So it kind of bothers me when people in a lifestyle, it's like they want to get deep about it, about their stance. It's like they want to talk about how, you know, monogamy, you know, is population control, and the government, they don't want people to be polyamorous and this, that. Hey, they may be right. They may be right. You know, hey, they may be onto something. I'm not saying they're right. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying that, you know, it's kind of hypocritical. That's what I'm saying. It's hypocritical to look down on others when people are looking down on you for the same thing. It's like a shouting match between people who are not listening to each other. Or it's like having a conversation with somebody who's not listening to you. They're just hearing to rebuttal. They're not listening for an understanding. You understand me? They're not listening to have a greater understanding of the topic. You feel me? And it's like people in the lifestyle, they may turn other people off. And not for nothing, a lot of people in the lifestyle need to practice monogamy because it's like, how are you going to be polyamorous when you haven't even mastered the art of being with one person yet? it's like there's baby steps. It's like people just want to hop into a poly relationship, but they don't even know how it is to be with one person. They not comfortable with being in one person. They don't even know how to function with being with one person. It's like they're skipping over steps, and then they wonder why they're in and out of different poly relationships, because they don't even know how to master monogamy yet. You feel me? And that's where this trend comes in, because now it's popular. It's not taboo to be in a poly anymore. But it's like you gotta crawl before you could walk. But people they don't even want to crawl. They don't even want to do the Google and Gaga. They just want to talk like grown folks and go off to the races as soon as they get out the womb. You know, they don't want to be babies. They don't want to learn. They just want to hurry up into adulthood, and then they wonder why their poly relationship is not successful. You know, it's like they saying, well, 50% of marriages ends in divorces. But it's like, okay, but I'm seeing a lot of people, they're switching partners in poly relationships like they're switching socks, or they switching their drawers. But not for nothing, a lot of people don't change their underwear. So that's why they're in a shitty relationship. No pun intended. You feel me? But you know, it's like people got to crawl before they could walk. And before you could criticize others, before you could complain about the snow on other people's sidewalk, you got to complain about the dirt on yours. You got to sweep your own sidewalk, baby. You understand me? And you know, it's crazy because, you know, a lot of people don't understand swinging, and I don't expect them to. Like, I'm not trying to convince people of my lifestyle. It's like either you get it or you don't. Either you agree with it or you don't. We could agree to disagree. But what I'm not going to do is shame others for being monogamous. I just wanted to reiterate that over and over and over and over and over again. I just want to reiterate that. You feel me? But all in all, you know, just like monogamy, polygamy could be a great thing, or being in a polyamorous relationship is a great thing. And both lifestyles have pros and cons. Just like how monogamy may have a pro and con, polygamous or polyamorous relationships may have a pro and con. You understand me? And you know, people who talk this oppression rhetoric, they may be right, because it's like, why it's not legal to marry multiple people? Why it's not legal? It's like, why can't I have multiple partners? And you know what? Just like how they made gay marriages legal, they may make, you know, polyamory relationships legal in the United States and all over the globe. Who knows? So a lot of people who say, you know, it's the oppression of the patriarchy, and the patriarchy want to tell people who to date and marry, this, that, and the third, they may have a valid point. But don't shit on monogamy in the midst of saying how, you know, the government, you know, don't have the right to ban people who choose to live a polygamous or a polygyny or polyandry lifestyle. You know, it's like, who are the government to say we can't marry multiple people? But that's a whole nother discussion, baby. So I just want to break down the, you know, the hypocrisy, the contradiction of it all. You know, because I'm me. Everybody can't be me. And, you know, it's not meant for everybody to be the same, because life would be boring if everybody were the same. It was like looking at yourself in the mirror. And it's like, what's fun in that? And in life, it's about learning different things, whether you agree with what you're learning about or disagree. You feel me? It's about understanding within your learning, so you can get a greater grasp of your neighbors and the various lifestyles that are out there in the world, without shitting on each other. Because this is not what being in a lifestyle is about, you know? And on that note, this has been another episode of Swingers After Dark, and this is your host, Not Some, baby. Check out my website at www.notsonblaze.com. That's www.nahsunblaze.com, and check out my ebook, You, Me, Us, Them, The Swinging Manifesto. It's on Nook, Kindle, iBooks, Google Play. Go get it. Shoot me an email at swingpodcast@gmail.com. That's swingpodcast@gmail.com. Hit me up with any questions or concerns that you may have. Rate, share, subscribe, and comment on this podcast. Dig. And on that note, until next time, peace.